Do you wake up at night with swollen, heavy, or aching legs? Do you feel that even if you rest, your legs are just as puffy the next day? Have you tried creams, pills, or even massages, but nothing seems to bring lasting relief? If so, you are not alone. This happens to so many people, especially from around 60 years of age onward. And the worst part is that over time, the swelling does not just cause discomfort. It can also affect your mobility, your sleep quality, and even your mood. But today I want to tell you something that few people know. Something I learned from a 78-year-old neighbor who, after years of suffering from heavy legs and swollen ankles, found relief using only 5 drops of a natural oil every night before bed. Yes, just 5 drops. And the best part is that she did not have to spend money on costly medications or undergo complicated treatments. This small change in her nighttime routine gave her legs their lightness back, and she could finally sleep peacefully again. In this video, I am going to tell you exactly which oil she used, how to apply it the right way, how long it took her to notice results, and above all, which mistakes you must avoid if you want this to work for you too. But before we start, I want to get to know you a little better. Tell me in the comments, how old are you? And from which country or city are you watching me? I love reading your answers, because that way I know who is on the other side, and I can make more content that truly helps you. Ready? Then, let's begin. Why legs swell in adulthood? Swollen legs do not appear from one day to the next. It is a problem that builds little by little, often silently. At first you might notice a bit of heaviness at the end of the day, then your shoes get harder to put on, and over time, the swelling becomes part of your daily routine. But why does this happen, especially from 60 years onward? The most common cause is fluid retention. As we age, our bodies have more trouble eliminating excess water and salts. Blood vessels lose elasticity. The kidneys do not work as they used to, and the fluid we used to eliminate easily now accumulates, especially in the legs and ankles. Another very frequent cause is circulatory problems. Over the years, the veins in the legs lose strength. The blood that should go back up to the heart starts to stagnate, causing swelling, pain, and even that purplish or bluish tone we sometimes see on the skin. A sedentary lifestyle also plays a key role. If you spend many hours sitting or lying down without moving your legs, the muscles do not do the job of pumping blood back to the heart. This makes circulation worse and causes even more fluid to build up. And we cannot forget poor eating habits. A diet high in salt, in processed products, or low in fruits and vegetables makes the body retain more fluid than it should. In addition, if you are not drinking enough water during the day, the body reacts by holding on to the little it has, and that also creates swelling. Lastly, there are the hormonal changes that naturally occur in adulthood, especially in women after menopause, but also in men. The drop in certain hormones slows the metabolism, affecting both circulation and the body's fluid balance. I want to tell you about Mary, a 72-year-old woman who lives in my neighborhood. For years she was very active, always walking, running errands, enjoying her grandchildren. But after an especially cold winter, she began to notice her ankles were more swollen than usual. At first she thought it was because she was spending more time at home, not moving as much. But as the months went by, the swelling got worse. Her shoes felt tight, walking became hard, and at the end of the day, her legs felt like lead. That was when she decided to seek help and learn more about her body. And here is the most important lesson in this part. Understanding why it happens is the first step to solving it, because only when we know the root of the problem can we choose the right remedy and start to feel relief. How leg swelling affects your long-term health. Now that you know why legs swell in adulthood, I want to talk to you about something very important that many people tend to ignore: the consequences of doing nothing about it. Even if at first it seems like just a minor nuisance, over time that swelling can bring much more serious problems. The first and most obvious is varicose veins. When blood pools in the legs, the veins start to dilate. They lose their shape and become visible under the skin. At first they are just small lines, but little by little they can turn into thick, painful veins that make circulation even worse. But that is not all. One of the most serious risks of poor circulation and fluid retention is deep vein thrombosis. This happens when a blood clot forms inside a leg vein. And believe me, it is not something you want to experience. If that clot breaks loose and travels to the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, a life-threatening situation. Also, the skin of the leg suffers too. When fluid builds up for a long time, the skin becomes more fragile, thinner, and ulcers or wounds that do not heal can appear. These wounds, known as venous ulcers, are very painful, hard to heal, and require long, consistent treatment. And we are not just talking about physical problems. Chronic swelling in the legs also affects your quality of life. You start walking less, you get tired more quickly. You climb a few stairs and already need to sit and rest. At night, the pain or heaviness keeps you from sleeping well. And the next day, you wake up with no energy, in a terrible mood, and with the feeling that every day everything gets a little harder. That constant fatigue, that irritability, and that lack of desire to do things slowly lead you into a discouraged state where every day feels the same, and you start to lose motivation to go out, walk, or even interact with other people. Let me tell you about Teresa, a 75-year-old woman. Teresa had always been active and full of energy. She loved tending her garden, going for walks in the park, and visiting her friends on Sunday afternoons. But a few years ago, she began to notice her legs swelled at the end of the day. At first, she did not think much of it. She figured it was normal for her age. But little by little, the swelling got worse. She stopped walking long distances, stopped going out as much, and started spending more time sitting. Varicose veins appeared, and afterward, small changes began in her skin. A simple mosquito bite turned into a wound that took weeks to close. One night while she slept, she felt sharp pain in her calf, and the next day her leg was more swollen and red than usual. She went to the doctor and was diagnosed with a thrombosis. Fortunately, they caught it in time, but the scare was big, and the worst part is that now she has to take medication for life to keep it from happening again. That is why you should not wait for things to get worse. Leg swelling may seem like just a cosmetic issue or a simple nuisance, but in the long term, it can become a serious problem that affects your physical health, your emotional well-being, and your independence. But do not worry. Now comes the good part. The solution. The miracle oil, origin and anti-inflammatory properties. Now yes, the moment you have been waiting for has arrived. After understanding why legs swell and how dangerous it can be to ignore it, let's discover which natural oil, that simple yet powerful remedy, so many older adults are using today to relieve swelling and pain in the legs. And the oil I'm going to talk about is cypress essential oil. Yes, cypress, that tall, elegant tree with slender green leaves, the one you have surely seen more than once in parks or cemeteries. But what few people know is that from its small branches and leaves, an oil is extracted that has amazing benefits for the health of our legs. Why cypress? The answer lies in its natural composition. Cypress essential oil contains several bioactive components, but there are three that are the stars here. First, alpha-pinene, a powerful natural anti-inflammatory that helps reduce swelling and improves blood circulation. Second, limonene, which has a toning effect on the walls of veins and lymphatic vessels. That means it helps the blood and trapped fluids start circulating more efficiently back toward the heart. And third, cedral, a substance with a relaxing effect on muscles, ideal if, in addition to swelling, you suffer from cramps or that annoying heavy leg feeling at the end of the day. But how exactly does it work in your body? When you apply just a few drops of this oil to your legs, cypress begins to act through the skin. Its molecules penetrate quickly and stimulate both venous circulation and the lymphatic system. What does that mean? It helps mobilize retained fluids, reduces pressure inside the veins, and improves the return of blood to the heart. In addition, its soothing, refreshing effect immediately eases that burning or heaviness many people feel after standing for a long time, or even after spending hours sitting. And there is more. Cypress oil also has antispasmodic properties, which means it helps calm muscle spasms. Perfect if you suffer from nighttime cramps, or if after a long day, your legs simply cannot relax. But this is not new. For centuries, different cultures have used cypress to relieve circulatory problems. The ancient Greeks, for example, prepared cypress leaf baths for people who suffered from varicose veins or tired legs. In traditional Mediterranean medicine, massaging the legs with cypress oil mixed with a little olive oil was recommended, as a natural way to activate circulation and reduce swelling. Even in Chinese medicine, cypress has been used for generations to move stagnant energy, especially in older adults with slow circulation. And it is interesting. Today, after so many medical advances, modern studies confirm what those cultures already knew from experience. That cypress oil has real proven power to relieve leg swelling. Of course, there are other oils that can help as well, like rosemary or lavender. But if you want quick results, visible deflating, and a real improvement in circulation, cypress oil remains one of the most recommended. How to apply the oil correctly before bed. Now that you know which oil it is and why it works, here comes the most important part. How to apply it correctly so it truly delivers results. And the first thing I want to clarify is why you only need 5 drops. You might be thinking, how can something so small do so much? The answer lies in concentration. Essential oils are highly concentrated extracts. A single drop of cypress oil contains the equivalent of dozens of the tree's leaves. Using more does not mean better results. In fact, doing so could irritate your skin or be counterproductive. 5 drops, divided between both legs, are more than enough to achieve the anti-inflammatory effect you are seeking. But you must not apply essential oil directly to the skin. This is fundamental. Because of their concentration, essential oils can be too strong if used neat. That is why you should always mix them with a carrier oil. Which ones are most recommended? A favorite for its light texture and fast absorption is sweet almond oil. Another excellent option is fractionated coconut oil, which also has moisturizing properties. If your skin is very dry, you can even opt for jojoba oil or olive oil. The basic blend is very simple. In the palm of your hand, place 1 tablespoon of carrier oil and then add the 5 drops of cypress essential oil. Rub your palms to mix well, and you are set. Now let's move on to the application technique. The key here is the massage and the direction you use. Always, and I repeat, always massage from the ankles upward. Why? Because that favors venous return and helps the fluid trapped in the legs start moving toward the heart. Start around the ankles with slow but firm movements, making small circles with your fingertips. Little by little, move up to the calves, then to the knees, and finally to the thighs. Do not rush. Spend at least between 5 and 10 minutes per leg. The slower and more mindful the application, the better your results will be. If you have time, you can add pumping motions. Gently squeeze the leg with both hands, as if you were pushing the fluid upward, and then release. This kind of massage, besides activating circulation, helps relax the muscles and improves the oil's absorption. A small trick that works very well is to apply the oil right after a warm shower. Why? Because with the heat, your skin's pores are more open, and that helps the oil penetrate better. Now, some precautions. Although cypress oil is safe for most people, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, never apply it to open wounds, cuts, or irritated areas. If you have very prominent varicose veins or very thin skin, use a gentler massage without pressing too much. Second, if your skin is very sensitive or you tend to have allergies, I recommend doing a small patch test first. Apply a little of the blend to your forearm and wait about 12 hours. If you notice no redness, itchiness, or discomfort, you can use it on your legs without worries. And very important, if you are taking blood thinners or if you have serious circulatory problems, consult your doctor first. Remember that although it is a natural remedy, it still has potent effects on circulation. Finally, I recommend using this massage every night before bed for at least 2 weeks to start noticing real changes. Other alternative oils that work too. So far, we have talked about cypress oil, which is among the most effective for improving circulation and reducing swelling in the legs. But the truth is, it is not the only oil that can help you. There are other essential oils, each with unique properties, that can be just as effective, or even more, depending on the cause of your swelling. Today I want to tell you about 5 of them, so you can choose the one that best fits your situation, or even combine them to boost the effect. First, peppermint essential oil. If you have ever felt that hot leg sensation, as if they were burning after a long day, this oil can be your best ally. Peppermint oil has an immediate cooling effect, thanks to its high menthol content. This helps calm the feeling of heat, improves surface circulation, and provides almost instant relief. If you tend to feel burning in your legs, or if you have varicose veins that cause a hot sensation, adding a few drops of peppermint to your nighttime blend can make a big difference. Second, arnica oil. Arnica has been known for centuries as one of the best natural anti-inflammatories. It is widely used in creams and ointments for athletes, precisely for its ability to reduce swelling and bruising. If your leg swelling comes with bumps, small hematomas, or if you have simply been on your feet a lot and feel muscle pain, arnica is ideal. Note, arnica is not used as a pure essential oil, but as a macerated oil. You can find it ready to use at natural stores, and you can combine it with cypress or lavender oil. Third, lavender oil. This is perfect if, in addition to swelling, you have trouble sleeping. Lavender not only has gentle anti-inflammatory properties, it also relaxes the nervous system. If leg discomfort keeps you from sleeping, or if you wake up in the middle of the night due to pain or discomfort, lavender can help you drift off while it reduces swelling. A good combination would be to mix 3 drops of cypress and 2 of lavender with your usual carrier oil. Fourth, ginger oil. Ginger is a powerful circulation stimulant. Its effect is warmer, so if your problem is more like a cold sensation, numb legs, or poor circulation in general, ginger is highly recommended. Note, it is a strong oil, so you only need 1 or 2 drops per application, and always well diluted. If you are an older adult who feels cold legs even in summer, this is the oil you should try. Fifth, eucalyptus oil. This is ideal if your swelling comes with fluid retention. Eucalyptus helps activate the lymphatic system, promoting the elimination of retained fluids. It also provides a feeling of lightness and freshness. You can combine it with peppermint to enhance this draining effect. So, how do you know which is best for you? If your issue is more heat and heaviness, use peppermint. If you have muscle pain or bruises, try arnica. If in addition to swelling you sleep poorly, lavender. If you suffer from poor circulation and a cold sensation, ginger. If you have fluid retention and puffy legs from excess water, eucalyptus. And if you want, you can combine 2 or even 3 of them, always respecting the amounts and diluting them well. For example, a blend for tired legs could include 2 drops of cypress, 2 of peppermint, 1 of lavender, all well mixed into your carrier oil, or, if you suffer from fluid retention, 3 drops of eucalyptus, 2 of cypress, in 1 tablespoon of almond oil. Always remember to test the blend first on a small patch of skin to make sure you have no reaction. Nighttime habits that boost the oil's effect. Applying the oil correctly before bed is already a big step toward easing leg swelling. But if you truly want to notice faster, longer-lasting results, there are several nighttime habits you can add to your routine, which will greatly amplify the effect of your oil massage. Today I will tell you which small changes you can make right before bedtime, and which can transform how your legs feel the next day. First, your leg position while sleeping. Many people sleep with their legs completely straight or even slightly downward, without realizing that this makes it harder for blood to return to the heart. And that, precisely, favors fluid retention. Ideally, after you give yourself the oil massage, lie down with your legs slightly elevated. How do you do it? Very simply, place 1 or 2 pillows under your calves or ankles so they rest a bit higher than heart level. This improves circulation, helps the fluid accumulated during the day return to the lymphatic system, and reduces swelling naturally while you sleep. You do not need to keep them elevated all night, but at least during the first hours of sleep, this change can make a big difference. Second, natural drinks that help you deflate from the inside. What you drink before bed also influences swelling. There are several infusions you can prepare easily that work as natural anti-inflammatories and help you sleep better. For example, dandelion infusion. This plant is known for its gentle diuretic properties. Drinking it before bed helps eliminate excess fluid and reduce the retention that affects your legs so much. Ginger tea. Ginger has anti-inflammatory effects and improves circulation. If you combine it with a bit of honey and lemon, you will have a delicious drink that also helps ease that heavy leg feeling. Water with lemon. If you do not like infusions, simply drink a small glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon. This supports digestion and has a mild cleansing effect that can help you during the night. That said, remember to avoid drinking large amounts of liquid right before bed, so you do not have to get up several times to go to the bathroom. A small glass will be enough. Third, avoid certain foods at dinner. Many times, without realizing it, what we eat at night worsens swelling. If you have trouble with swollen legs, it is essential to cut back on salt at night. Salt promotes fluid retention and worsens circulation. Keep your dinners light. Avoid cured meats, instant soups, salty snacks, and above all, ultra-processed foods. Those products that come in packages, that have many preservatives and additives, and that, tasty as they may be, are very harmful to your circulation. A good dinner for you could include steamed vegetables, a little light protein like fish or chicken, and a gentle carbohydrate such as brown rice or boiled potato, always with very little salt. Fourth, do gentle exercises before bed. Movement, even a little, activates circulation and prevents blood from stagnating in the legs. Here I recommend 2 very easy exercises, which you can do even sitting on the bed. Ankle movements. Sit or lie down, and move your ankles in circles one way and then the other. Do at least 20 repetitions in each direction. This improves venous return and helps prevent nighttime cramps. Knee bends. Lying on your back. Bend one leg and gently bring it toward your chest. Hold for 5 seconds, then switch legs. Repeat 10 to 15 times with each leg. These exercises will not tire you out, but they will activate circulation right before you sleep. In short, if you combine the oil massage, a good sleeping position, natural drinks, a light dinner, and these simple exercises, you will be giving your body everything it needs to reduce leg swelling naturally and effectively. And now, stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to tell you common mistakes many people make when using essential oils for their legs. Mistakes that could be sabotaging all their efforts without them realizing it. Common mistakes that make the oil not work. So far, we have talked about all the benefits you can get by applying just 5 drops of oil before bed. But I also have to warn you about something very important. Because unfortunately, many people start with enthusiasm, try the oil for 1 or 2 nights, and then say, "This does not work." And in most cases, the problem is not the oil, but the way they are using it. Today, I want to tell you the most common mistakes that make this natural remedy, so simple yet so powerful, fail to deliver the results you expect. First mistake, using low-quality oils. Not all essential oils are the same. There are many brands on the market that sell cheap oils, diluted, or with chemical additives. These products, besides being ineffective, can cause irritation or allergic reactions. A good essential oil should be pure, preferably organic, and extracted by natural methods such as steam distillation or cold pressing. If the label does not clearly state its composition, or if the price is suspiciously low, be wary. Remember, the product's quality directly influences the results you will get. Second mistake, applying without massaging. Simply rubbing oil on the skin. without spending a few minutes on a proper massage, greatly reduces its effectiveness. The massage is what truly activates circulation, moves the trapped fluids, and allows the oil's active components to penetrate deeply. It is not enough to put the drops on and let them absorb on their own. Spend at least 5 minutes massaging with circular upward strokes from the ankles to the knees, and if you can, up to the thighs. This step is key for the oil to do its job. Third mistake, not being consistent. Here is one of the most frequent and most frustrating mistakes. Many people apply the oil only once, or maybe for 2 or 3 nights, and then expect miraculous results. But the body needs time to respond. Remember that leg swelling has been building up over weeks, months, or even years. That is why real changes appear when you apply the oil every day, consistently, for at least 2 or 3 consecutive weeks. Consistency is what makes the difference between seeing results and staying the same as always. Fourth mistake, using too much oil. It is worth clarifying. More is not always better. Many people think that if 5 drops are good, then 10 or 15 will be better. But excess essential oil can irritate the skin, cause redness, or even small allergic reactions. Also, too much oil can clog pores, hinder absorption, and leave an uncomfortable feel on the skin. That is why the ideal dose is between 5 and 7 drops, always diluted in a carrier oil such as almond, coconut, or even extra virgin olive oil if you have nothing else on hand. Fifth mistake, not pairing it with healthy habits. We already saw this in the previous section. The oil helps a lot, but it is not a magic solution by itself. If you keep eating very salty dinners, if you spend the whole day sitting, or if you do not do even the slightest leg exercise, no matter how much oil you apply, the swelling will remain. Therefore, always combine the oil with small changes in your routine. Lighter, low-salt dinners, gentle movements before bed, keeping your legs elevated for at least a while each night. The combination of all these factors is what will truly help you feel relief, and above all, make the results last over time. And lastly, a personal tip. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes we want immediate results, but the body has its own pace of recovery. Do not get discouraged if you do not notice a dramatic change in the first few nights. Keep applying the oil, massage with care, watch your diet, and give your body time to respond. Because I assure you, if you are consistent and avoid these mistakes, within a few weeks, you will notice the difference. Testimonials and real or reenacted success stories. Sometimes, hearing the experience of other people who have gone through the same thing you have is just what we need to encourage us to try something new. So now, I want to tell you 3 real stories of people over 60 years of age who also suffered from swelling, heaviness, and leg pain, and who, thanks to this simple method, managed to improve their quality of life. You may identify with one of them. First story, Carmen, 68 years old, fluid retention. Carmen is a 68-year-old woman who had always struggled with fluid retention, especially during the hotter months. Every afternoon, when she got home from running errands, she noticed her legs were swollen, heavy, with a burning sensation in her ankles. She tried infusions, medications, and even compression stockings, but nothing worked completely. One day, her granddaughter told her about cypress oil and how it could help improve circulation and reduce swelling. Carmen started applying it every night, 5 drops diluted in almond oil, and following a 5-minute massage routine, just as I explained earlier. The first 2 nights, she noticed slight improvement, but it was from the 2nd week onward that the change was truly evident. Her legs no longer woke up swollen, the ankle pain disappeared, and for the first time in a long while, she could walk without that annoying, heavy leg sensation. Today, Carmen does not go a single night without her oil massage ritual, and whenever she feels the swelling trying to return, she knows exactly what to do to stop it. Second story, Joseph, 72 years old, circulation problems. Joseph had always been active, but after he turned 70, He began to notice his legs fell asleep easily, and he had cramps at night. His doctor told him he had circulation issues and that he needed to take better care of himself. Joseph looked for natural ways to complement his treatment and discovered rosemary essential oil, known for its stimulating properties on blood flow. Every night, after a hot shower, he applied 5 drops of rosemary oil mixed with coconut oil and gave himself an upward massage on both legs. At first, it just felt like a relaxing moment, but after about 10 days, he noticed the nighttime cramps diminished. And after 1 month, the tingling and numbness had practically disappeared. Now, Joseph recommends the oil to all his friends, and he always carries a small bottle in his suitcase when he travels. Third story, Helen, 75 years old, nighttime muscle pain. Helen, 75, had been waking up several times a night with stabbing pain in her calves for months. Doctors told her they were muscle contractures caused by lack of movement and by poor circulation during sleep. A friend from the seniors center suggested she try lavender oil, not only for its anti-inflammatory properties, but also for its ability to relax muscles and improve sleep quality. Helen decided to try it, mixing 5 drops of lavender oil with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and she also placed a pillow under her legs to keep them slightly elevated. The first night she already noticed she slept a bit more peacefully, but after 1 week the pain began to disappear almost completely. Now, besides easing her legs, she also enjoys much deeper, more restorative sleep. Motivational message at the end of this section. As you can see, Carmen, Joseph, and Helen have different stories, but all with a happy ending thanks to a small change in their nighttime routine. They also had doubts at the beginning. They thought maybe it would not work, or that it was too late to improve. But today, they are enjoying lighter legs, less pain, and much calmer nights. So if they could do it, you can too. You only have to take the first step, be consistent, and above all, trust that your body can improve if you give it the right tools. We have reached the end of this journey, but in reality, it could be the beginning of a much more important one, the path toward your well-being. Today we talked about something that seems small, but when you live it, you know it is not. Leg swelling is not just a passing annoyance, it is a signal, a way your body tells you, hey, I need you to take care of me. First, we understood why it happens, that it is not random, that behind that swelling, that pain, there are real causes like fluid retention, poor circulation, a sedentary lifestyle, and even the hormonal changes that come with age. Then, we discovered the power of nature. That oil, simple yet potent, which, when applied the right way, can help you activate circulation, relieve swelling, and feel your legs lighter, more rested. We learned that it is not just about applying a few drops and waiting for miracles, but about doing it right, with a proper massage, using a good carrier oil, and above all, being consistent. We also saw that you are not alone in this. People like Carmen, Joseph, and Helen went through the same thing you are going through and found relief. And in addition, we talked about other habits that can enhance the results even more. Watching what you eat for dinner, moving your ankles before sleeping, or simply placing a pillow to elevate your legs and encourage venous return. But beyond oils, massages, and habits, I want you to take away something even more important. Your body speaks to you. Sometimes it does so through pain, other times through swelling, or through that fatigue that never seems to go away. And the beautiful thing about all this is that it is also in your hands to listen, give it what it needs, and little by little, start to feel better. Because yes, sometimes, only 5 small drops and a bit of dedication are enough to begin the change. So, if you have made it this far, I want to thank you from the heart for joining me in this video. Before you go, tell me in the comments, do you suffer from leg swelling? Have you tried any natural remedy before? I would love to read you, to know your story, and to learn where you are watching from. Remember, every message you leave motivates us to keep creating content to help you, support you, and give you real solutions to feel better. If this video was useful to you, do not forget to like it, share it with someone who might need it, and of course, subscribe so you do not miss our next tips. Thank you for being here. Take great care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon.